Hi everyone, welcome to Grow. My name is Patricia Hanbidge. I'm a graduate horticulturist. My oldest friends know me as Patty Plant, and yes, I did get a haircut, first time in months due to the circumstances we live under. So thank you for taking time out of your day to join me in the jungle, right here in my backyard. So what I'd like to share with you today is using tropicals as perennials. So you might think, well, now Patty's really off her rocker now, but if you think about your home and your garden, your landscape, it all is an investment. It's a green space investment. So not only do we get beautiful value out of enjoying our space indoors and outdoors, we take a little pride in it. And also, it can increase your property value, so actually does have a real monetary value. So let's talk about annuals. Annuals live for 1 year in the climate that you're living in. Perennials live for 3 or more years. And biennials will live for 2 years and usually flower in the second year. So the star of the show today is the clivia here. And what got me thinking about this topic for today was to share with you how you can help improve the aesthetics, the enjoyment, and the monetary value of your home and garden without going crazy at the garden centers every spring and, doing a lot of purchasing, which of course, as gardeners, we all do. So let's talk about tropicals. So tropicals, in most of the climates where we live, even those folks in the Ontario area that are following the YouTube channel Grow, but a lot of plants won't live outside throughout the winter season. The winter season is sometimes a little cold, a little long, depending on where you live. And a lot of our tropicals that would be perennials or woody ornamentals or something that lives for 3 or more years in warmer climes, in our climates, are considered annuals. So how do you take them outside, use them as perennials, and still get all the benefit without having to invest in new plants? So I'm standing, I'm not that tall, but I am standing, and you can see that some of the plants around me, there's a few birds of paradise. Some are 30 or 40 years old. There's a big monstera, brugmansia, a few jades. What else do I have? Angel wing begonia, and of course the clivia. So the clivia came outside today. And all of my houseplants come outside for the summer season, and sometimes it's a few months long, sometimes it's longer, depending on where I happen to be living. And I'll tell you, my goal is to live somewhere where my houseplants can live outside year-round. Aha! All right, so investing in large plants, whether they're annuals, perennials, tropicals, whatever they may be, are quite an investment. Some of these birds that are standing behind me are 30 or 40 years old. You can't even buy them in a lot of places. So it's worthwhile to keep them alive. So in the winter time, they stay inside the house. Yes, I do have some lights, but not everything is under lights all the time. If you look at this angel wing begonia, it's a shade plant in its natural environment. So inside the house, it needs no supplemental light. It blooms. It's just a crazy thing to grow. Things like the clivia, the birds, the monstera, the jades, that kind of thing. Yes, I do keep them under grow lights, but I circulate them in our living areas when they're most attractive. So my plan was to do something with this clivia today because it actually needs a home now that will accommodate wheelchairs. It is wider than most doorways. In fact, it's wider than even large hallways, and it is, oh my goodness, I think I shared it with my mom a long time ago, over 25 years I would think, and it happily blooms twice a year. And aren't these spectacular blooms? Well, we started to pollinate these blooms, so we were pretending to be the bumblebee, the same as you would need to be if you're growing citrus fruits and anything you're actually trying to get a fruit. And these are the seed pods, and those actually take over a year to ripen. So I don't know if you've ever gathered seeds from any plants, but it is really important for them to be physiologically mature before you harvest them if you want to have viable seeds that you can then plant and grow. So we've done an experiment with this clivia after all these years, and we've been pollinating the blossoms, and another day we'll talk about the sex life of plants. But today we're going to talk about how we can make these beautiful tropicals perennial in our yard. So these seeds are now mature. I'll dry them down and then plant them, and they actually are quite easy to grow after you've put some time to let them mature appropriately. So I want to talk about palms. So here's a small palm, and this is a really nice plant to put in a container for the summer. It's nice in shady areas. And just by the way, I did tell you that I take all my perennials outside for the summer season. When you take your perennials from your home to your outdoor living space, it's important not to put them in full sun. Just like you harden off your bedding plants, it's important to harden off the plants that you're going to put into full sun. However, if you just put them into a shady area outside, you can enjoy them, and it's easier on the plants. I once had a good friend who had a Mediterranean patio, and he had a beautiful big palm tree that was part of the decor on his patio, which was of course in full sun because he did like to suntan. So this palm tree would be on his patio in the sweltering sun, plus 30, plus 40, whatever the weather. And then in the wintertime it would go into an atrium, but it would need to completely refoliate. So there's a difference between sun and shade leaves. So if you put your house plants right into the sun, not only will they sunburn, but they'll have to grow brand new leaves in order to function in a full sun environment. So think about putting your tropicals, which depending on how much of a green thumb you have, think about putting them into your landscape outside and enjoying them on a perennial basis. There is nothing more spectacular than going outside and having a tropical paradise when you don't live in the tropics. So I encourage you to invest in your green spaces, whether they're inside or outside, and truly enjoy your plants to their value. Now, I just want to mention two more things. These jades, there's a finger jade and kind of the run-of-the-mill jade that you normally see. They get bigger, just like this clivia that needs to be repotted probably into 3 because it is wider than I am tall. And I've been doing some propagating of the jade plants, and then you can just plant them up into nice little pots for your friends, your neighbors, for special occasions, wedding favors, birthday party favors, those kind of things. So when you think of your green space, let's think of it as an investment that we enjoy. It might make it easier to spend a few more dollars to invest in something that's a little larger, because for this clivia to grow as big as it is takes a lifetime. So it is an investment. It is worth real dollars, and I encourage you to have an exotic home wherever you live, whether it's in the more extreme climates or the less extreme climates. Thank you for joining me today for Grow. It's always a pleasure. I thought when I first started putting on these videos, and I started a YouTube channel called Grow, of course, that I would run out of topics, but you know what, that hasn't happened yet. I don't think it will ever happen, because as gardeners, whether you're a master gardener, a run-of-the-mill gardener, a horticulturist, or what your place in life is, we love to garden, we love to have the green space around us, and it's a beautiful thing to share our knowledge with our friends and neighbors. So thanks for taking time out of your day. My name is Patricia Hanbich. I am your horticulturist. My oldest friends call me Patty Plant, and I guess it's destiny, isn't it, that we like to live and grow and make our lives more fruitful more beneficial and more beautiful. So thanks for joining me. If there's topics you'd like me to cover, drop me a line. You can catch me on the Orchid Horticulture Facebook page, and you can catch me anytime of the day or night on my YouTube channel, Grow. Thanks for watching. Be happy, stay safe, and let's get growing. See you next time, folks.